Hello witchy people, another YouTube Pagan Challenge 2019, my letter H. This is going to be a really quick one. My letter H is hunky punk. This is a typical Somerset word. It's not really found anywhere else in the country. Now basically a hunky punk and the idea of these little mythical creatures, these little grotesques if you like, came from gargoyles. They're gargoyles on buildings that don't let water off, so they haven't got the spouts in their mouths or anything. They're just, so quite often when you see some of these really old buildings like medieval, they did have them ancient Egypt. The Temple of Zeus had like 120 gargoyles. You know, they are all over the world and all sorts of different cultures and anyway. So sometimes when you see a building, quite often you'll see these grotesques or gargoyles in the corner of the building on the outside, obviously. And in all honesty, only one or two of them may be gargoyles, and a couple of them will be hunky punks. They will be gargoyles that don't spout out water. They're purely decorative. Now, there was a whole myth surrounding these grotesques, these hunky punks, that they were put on buildings and even inside buildings to remind people to stay on the straight and narrow. That, you know, for all the good things that were in the world, there were some pretty ugly and awful things too. It's kind of like you have grotesques and gargoyles, which are basically the same. Sometimes grotesques don't spout water. Gargoyles by definition always do. Then you have eavesdroppers, which is little faces in eaves of buildings that are supposed to let you know that, you know, you're always being listened to. The walls have ears. You know, someone's always going to overhear what you're saying, eavesdroppers. So be careful what you say, especially against the king. That's where it came from. And then you have hunky punks, or grotesques, but in Somerset they're called hunky punks, which I love. It's such a brilliant, brilliant name. And there's this whole myth surrounding them as well, about them. Some bishops refused to have them on their churches because they were supposed to not ward off evil, but were evil. They represented evil and would come to life and prance around the building, whether that be a church or any other building. And it became such a terrible thing to have these gargoyles and hunky punks and grotesques that that's why we have downpipes in buildings now. You know, guttering and downpipes to let the water off our buildings. We have downpipes, and to be honest, I'd much rather see a gargoyle with a couple of hunky punks. So there you go, hunky punks, these little stone carved creatures that come alive and create mischief and mayhem in Somerset. Thank you for watching, witchy people. I will be back very soon. Bye for now.